Maybe the fans influenced the game. We're not accustomed to playing in front of such large audiences, Firat remarked. And that's the comment that Harambee Stars coach Engin had to say when his side lost to Cameroon 4-1 last Friday. They face Cameroon once again on Monday, the 14th of October. And it is pretty interesting. We're going to be looking at the player ratings from that fixture as well as the prediction for the next game versus Cameroon. So welcome back to LFB Football, Kenya's biggest football channel, and today we're going to be looking at the player ratings from the game Cameroon versus Kenya, and this was a 4-1 defeat. It was pretty bad actually. So we're going to be looking at the articles from Mozart Sport and Pulse Sports. Patrick Batasi had the lowest rating in the team, and we put up a video and we had a lot of comments whereby people were saying that he may be involved in match fixing, but let's get straight into it. So Patrick Matasi was rated 1 by Pulse Sports. A match Patrick Matasi will want to forget quickly. Nothing seemed to be working for him on the night. Back in the starting lineup after being benched against Zimbabwe and Namibia, he will surely have wished he remained on the bench after all. So Mozart Sport did slightly better. They rated him 2. Patrick Matasi conceded 2 cheap goals that seemed to lower Kenyan morale. The experienced custodian had an all-around game to forget as he also struggled with his ball distribution. The Kenya police keeper should have done better with Cameroon's second goal. If he didn't see it, here is Cameroon's second goal. Even we thought there was actually a slight deflection, but nothing of the sort. The other one was also pretty bad by Patrick Matasi. We'll also show it. It was actually a really poor attempt to come out of goal. Amos Nondi also had a rating of 1 by Pulse Sports. Amos Nondi was absolutely destroyed by Christian Basogog, who had a field day on that left flank. Amos Nondi had a player rating of 2 by Mozart Sports. Amos Nondi was virtually out of the game from the start. He failed to mark and defend Christian Basogog's pace and was at fault for both the opening and second goals. He struggled to contain the 2017 AFCON best player, and his impact up front was minimal. Daniel Anyembe, who had a rating of 3 by Pulse Sports. Daniel Anyembe had possibly his worst performance in a Kenyan shirt to date. Looked out of sorts at centre back, and although he looked better at right back in the second half, took nothing home to write about. Anyembe had a rating of 2 by Mozart Sports. Daniel Anyembe was supposed to provide the needed cover for Nondi, but he struggled to do so. The left wing was regularly tested and troubled. Ouma had a rating of 5 by Pulse Sports. A generally solid performance, gave the assist for Michael Olunga's goal from the free kick. That's what gave him the 5. But they rated Akumu 5. Arguably, and I agree with this, arguably the best player on the field. He was still partly responsible for the goals conceded as the midfielder was easily bypassed. Despite this, he displayed his usual calmness with most of Kenya's transition plays starting from him. That's very true. And Mozart Sport actually rated him 3. They said that Richard Odada's struggles to settle at Dundee United seem to have followed him to the national team. He was ineffective in the first half as Cameroon dominated possession and controlled the midfield. Rooney Onyango, he was rated 3. Rooney Onyango was forced to do more defensive work in the afternoon and was prevented from being adventurous. A forgettable display. And before we continue with the player ratings from the Cameroon versus Kenya game, do make sure to subscribe to Kenya's biggest football channel. As per Mozart Sport, he had a rating of 3. Dukabuya, just like Timothy Ouma, appeared lost in the game, failing to make any major impression. And speaking of Timothy Ouma, Pulse Sports rated him as 2. Back in the starting lineup, Ouma had a quiet display, looked like a rabbit in the headlights. Did not enjoy much of possession before being subbed off. He also had a chance against Andre Onana, but he decided to sky it. He could have taken a touch and actually gone and had a 1v1 situation. As per Mozart Sport, had a rating of 3. The most sought after player in Europe had a night to forget. Before being substituted in the second half, Ouma appeared lost and out of position for most of the game. He made only 1 attempt at goal, a pale reflection of the player we are used to sing in the UEFA Europa League. Michael Olunga, probably because of his goal, had a rating of 5, scored Kenya's only goal of the evening, but was otherwise ineffective, being forced to do more defensive work. This is as per Pulse Sports. If we're looking at substitutes, I'll just mention them real quick. Joseph Okumu had a rating of 3 as per Pulse Sports, and Mozart Sports rated him at 4. We have John Avire, who had a rating of a 4 as per Pulse Sports, and Mozart Sports, he got a 3 because had a little to offer after coming in. And then Alfred Scriven, not applicable because I guess he didn't have too much. I came on but barely did anything to warrant a rating, the same as Chris Erambo as per Pulse Sports. And jumping straight into the predictions for this game, Kenya versus Cameroon is going down on Monday the 14th of October, and the game will be played in Kampala, and the Engin Firat has said that there won't be any fans in the stadium. We saw the first comment when we started the video about fans impacting the game, so there won't be any fans. But the predictions, as per numerous sources, is that Cameroon may win this game. Well, it's basically Kenya is not gonna win. It's either Kenya to draw or Cameroon to beat Kenya, and it's gonna be like a slim victory considering that they now, well, we're hoping that defeat will have the guys riled up. So that's actually what a lot of sources have actually said. A reminder that Cameroon has never lost to Kenya, or rather Kenya has never beat Cameroon in any competition, and so it's looking like that will be the case again. So most likely a draw or Cameroon edging this one. Engin Firat should actually set up the side to even get a point. The last game we were completely outplayed, outclassed, outmuscled. It was ridiculous. Possibly even changing the goalkeeping department. It will actually be a statement whether Engin Firat sticks with Patrick Matasi. But rumors are that, well, different lineups are that Patrick Matasi may start. Others are saying Byron Omondi will be in goal. The other thing is that Richard Odada may not start due to limping off in the previous game, and so we might have Chris Erambo starting. So yes, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Do check out our other social media platforms at L4B La Football. Do like this video and remember to subscribe to Kenya's biggest football channel. For more on our Kenyan national football team, do check out the playlist. And as always, support Kenyan football. We out.